The year 2020. Where do you even begin? I think when I look back at this year from kind of a broad perspective, there are two words that keep circling back with me: loss and growth. You see, everybody experienced a loss of some sort throughout this year, but you see the difference is not everybody experienced a growth this year. Growth is a choice, and it's a choice that usually stems from a loss or a failure. And in a year where it felt as if it was just loss after loss after loss, it can be kind of hard to see the good that can come from that. And so people quickly just say, well, 2020 sucks, or 2020 ain't it. And let me tell you, you couldn't be any more wrong when saying that. 2020 has hit differently for all of us. Some people have had it way worse than others. And personally, I feel very, very fortunate to not have had it nearly as hard as some other people this year. But by saying 2020 sucks, 2020 ain't it, or I can't wait for 2021, you're only blocking off the good that can come from it. You're quickly turning your head to look forward to something else rather than look at the year as a whole and say to yourself, well, what can I take away from this year? I know it's been hard, but what can I learn from a year like this? It's important to be prideful of those losses just as much as your victories, because without those losses, you wouldn't be where you are today. Those losses turn us into better people. And that's what growth is all about. And so to circle back to the question of what would I rate this year on a scale of 1 to 10, I honestly and truly think that I would give this year a 10 out of 10. And so you might ask, well, Drew, how or why? And I think that in life, we tend to get caught up in the daily pressures and expectations that people put on us. And we forget who we truly are on the inside. Life moves so fast, and I think sometimes we tend to forget that. And we really put ourselves into a hole because of this. And we lose so much on a day-to-day basis without really even realizing it. This year was different because it sort of felt like I switched my camera settings to shoot in slow motion. So it was a chance to slow down, a chance to reflect on everything that has happened in my life up until this point. It challenged me to think in new ways and to discover things that I had not known about myself. And through everything that was taken, through all the tension, through all the ups and downs, I truly grew more from this year than any other prior in my life. So if I can give one piece of advice for anyone who maybe didn't experience as much growth as they would have liked to, it's that keeping a learning mindset at all times is one of the most powerful tools that you can utilize in your life. And you will find that you view life in a very different way than you did before. You view your losses in a very different way than you did before. You don't let them just kick you to the curb. You look at it and you're seeking to learn from that loss so that you can experience that growth, in which in result will set you up for success further down the line in your life. I think if there's one thing that we can take away from this year, it's that life is not easy, and life is not supposed to be easy. Life throws us obstacles and challenges every single day. But I think it's super important that we embrace those challenges, embrace those obstacles that life throws at us. keep that open learning mindset when faced with anything that is directed our way, because we can learn so much from those things and grow as individuals because of that. And I think that's super important. I think that's what growth is all about. It's the idea of taking something that's hard and processing it and really diving into it to learn as much as you can to set yourself up for success in your future because of that challenge or because of that obstacle. And so I think that brings me back to the question of, if you could rate this year 1 through 10 based upon everything that's happened in your life, what would you score this year? And so I reached out to a lot of my friends with this question, and I think it's interesting because everybody responded differently. And I think it shows that we all view 2020 through a different lens. And if your score wasn't what you had hoped it to be at the start of this year, that's completely okay. It's completely normal. But I think it's important that we learn from this year and we take the things that we've learned from this year and apply it to our lives so that going forward in future years, we can be more successful as individuals. And so I leave you with this as we head into 2021. Take a step back from labeling things as just being bad or terrible and ask yourself, how can you turn that into something positive in your life? Because with every loss, there comes an opportunity for growth, but only if you make that choice.